Before the video, I would like to briefly note that Burma and Myanmar are the same country but different names for them. On February 1st, the military took control of Myanmar in a coup. The military maintained a military dictatorship after World War II and transferred the power to the civil government in 2015 under pressure from the US. The coup was carried out on charge of fraud in the last elections in 2020. The NLD party, with Aung San Suu Kyi, won a landslide victory in the November 8, 2020 general election and received 83% of the seats in the Congress, but the military has complained that the election was too troubled. In fact, elections have been abruptly cancelled in many villages for security reasons. Fraudulent ballots have been found in large quantities and ballot boxes have been lost in Myanmar. The biggest problem is that 1.5 million Rohingya people's votes were not counted. Aung San Suu Kyi was previously responsible for the massacre of 7,000 Rohingya people, so the Rohingya in Myanmar are strongly against her and their voting rights have been restricted this time. In this situation, military has said it has found 8.6 million irregularities in voter list in 314 townships that could have let voters cast multiple ballots or commit other voting malpractice. The military asked the Union Electoral Commission to investigate the matter and filed various lawsuits in court. But the UEC and court denied the military's request on January 25th as if they had colluded. On the last 25th, the UEC announced that the elections had been fair and without problems, and the court dismissed all lawsuits filed by the military. The next day, January 26, a military spokesman said the military would not hold back if the government did not clear up the electoral issues. And on February 1st, the military in Myanmar carried out a military coup saying this election was rigged. However, it has not been officially confirmed whether or not this is all the military's claim, and the majority of Myanmar's citizens continue to protest against the military dictatorship, saying there were no problems with this election. In Yangon, the former capital of Myanmar, 100,000 citizens was going on the street on January 7th, and national protests were held in 10 cities at the same time criticizing the military dictatorship. The State Council of Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi, won the Nobel Peace Prize and had been supported by the Myanmar people in the fight against the military dictatorship for dozens of years. And the US helped Aung San Suu Kyi become a state councillor of Myanmar. Burma's pro-democracy heroine Aung San Suu Kyi and Hillary Clinton have had a special relationship since they first met in 2011. She also met George Soros, and in 2012, Soros said she was helping him to do business in Myanmar. Since 1994, George Soros Open Society Foundation has sponsored the Burma Project and supported more than 100 NGOs in Myanmar. In her autobiography, Hillary wrote that when she first met Aung San Suu Kyi, she felt like she was speaking to an old friend she had known all her life, and encouraged Aung San Suu Kyi to enter the political world. Subsequently, Suu Kyi received the Congressional Medal from Obama in 2012, and the Obama administration helped her become a state councillor of Myanmar through severe sanctions against the military regime. And that's why the military gave up its dictatorship in 2015. However, the world was surprised by her ambivalence after US support. Aung San Suu Kyi married a British man and had a British children, and that's why she couldn't become a president under Myanmar's constitution. She once said like this: "The president is a person who only keeps the protocols in an official position, and I'm the one decides everything." Although she was a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, she was later criticized from around the world for the Rohingya massacre, and the New York Times reported that she has deceived the world. She also has a deep relationship with the CCP. On January 18, 2020, she sold Myanmar to China with the signing of 33 MOUs. China's Belt and Road Initiative is a very inhuman project that has long been criticized by many countries for taking entire capitals and assets of other countries. In fact, besides Myanmar, Sri Lanka lost an important strategic port called the Hambantota Port to China for 99 years in 2017. As a part of a Belt and Road project, the Sri Lanka government loaned $1.12 billion from China to build the port, but due to the deficit, it has given 80% of its stake and 99 years operating rights to China. It was feared that the port would become a Chinese outpost in the Indian Ocean as it provides good conditions for Chinese naval ships and submarines to hide. The same applies to port city Karachi in Pakistan. In 2018, Pakistan complained of economic difficulties from the Belt and Road project with China. The railway project was the largest project between Pakistan and China at this time, and represented a mega project to renovate the 1,872-kilometer long railway from southern port city of Karachi. But Pakistan suffered a severe economic crisis after investing huge sums of money beyond its repayment capabilities, and the railroad project has been criticized for being efficient at helping only China move its troops in Pakistan. Like this, it has been constantly pointed out that China is trying to use capital as a weapon for the Belt and Road Initiative to exert political and economic influence around the world. However, Aung San Suu Kyi signed 33 MOUs with the CCP on January 18, 2020. The development of special economic zone for Chinese in Kayapi, a new urban development project in Yangon, the largest city in Myanmar, the construction of the Mandalay Highway, the LNG power plant, the Kulung Bridge and the Waterloo tunnels as well. The GDP in Myanmar is as of 2019 $76 billion and is due to significantly lower than in neighboring countries, such as in Bangladesh with $300 billion and in Thailand with $543 billion. And all of the money needed to carry out such a massive national project in Myanmar will be given a very high interest rate by the CCP. In addition to lending money, Chinese companies will be involved in all construction work in Myanmar, and the key players will also be Chinese people. It is promoting that Myanmar's unemployment status will be resolved through a vast amount of national project, but eventually most Myanmar citizens will only provide physical labor in this project. And after this mega project, if the money cannot be repaid, all facilities will be taken over by the CCP. In addition, the CCP's relationship with Myanmar has another tremendous benefit. In the past, the US Navy was able to isolate China by stationing its army in the Strait of Malacca, but from now on, the CCP will be able to transport anything through Myanmar, making US sanctions even more difficult. In the future, China will build highways and railways in Myanmar and have all the energy and trade routes to connect to Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. In 2018, China got authority for using the port of Hambantota in Sri Lanka for 99 years, and it also became able to control the port of Karachi, Pakistan. And after Myanmar, China was able to take a safe route in the Indian Ocean. It has been found that the CCP has Aung San Suu Kyi on its side, at least enough to sign 33 MOUs with Xi Jinping, whatever the economic consequences. However, she also has a good relations with Democrats in the US as well. Then the question remains, did the military really carry out the coup on its own? The answer is no. The military gave up its dictatorship in 2015 under pressure from the Obama administration, including the influence of Hillary Clinton. And now Biden's Democratic government has only just started to work. So the military cannot continue its coup alone. However, before the coup, China was doing something to Myanmar. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited Myanmar on January 12, 2021. During his visit at the time, Foreign Minister Wang Yi met and said to the Commander-in-Chief Hu Lai, who did a coup on February 1st. China and Myanmar have agreed in principle on implementing the action plan for building the China-Myanmar community with a shared future, hoping the Myanmar military can make a new contributions to common goal of the two countries. There is also another suspicious thing. The coup in Myanmar took place on February 1st. However, at the end of January, 12,000 soldiers of the 75th Group of the South China Army has deployed to the border to Myanmar. This move of 12,000 soldiers at the end of January led to the conclusion that, at least at the beginning of January, they already knew everything about that. Taiwan's media reported that China knew about the military coup beforehand. The variety of armed forces, including the 37th Light Infantry Brigade, including mechanized artillery, air defense, and air assault units were mobilized. The relocation of these units was captured at the end of January. In addition, 8 Gen-10 fighter jets were reportedly deployed at the Linchang military airfield, which was built in the mountains along the border from Myanmar. It would go too far to say that it was the preparation for the border crossing refugees after coup. Also, deploying Gen-10 fighter jets cannot be seen as a movement against Myanmar's military, which does not have suitable fighter jet units. The movement of troops and the deployment of fighter jets are also analyzed to prepare for the US military intervention. So if we put all these situations together, one could conclude that China may supported Myanmar's military coup. What is happening in Myanmar right now is very complicated. Almost every conceivable problem in international relations has arrived in Myanmar. Allegations of rigged election, military coup, the Belt and Road Initiative, the movement of CCP, and the movement of the US. A series of situations that go beyond our common sense are taking place in Myanmar. Also, it is clearly expected that a fight between US and CCP will be happened in Myanmar. What do you think of this video? Thanks for watching. Your comments, likes, and sharing. Be safe.